Yo, we back again with another video, man.
That's Sirski.
I'm your boy Morrow.
Money making J.
And we got an honorary member.
The honorary hitter for this video, Jason.
So today we coming at y'all with our favorite pay-per-views of all time. We're gonna give y'all 3 each of our own. We're gonna let y'all know why we like them. Yeah. So I don't know how y'all wanna go. Y'all want me to go first or you wanna go down? I'm gonna go first. Matter of fact, we gonna let you go first, man, since you in the middle today. I remember every time we used to do the videos back then, bro, the middle used to be like, whoever in the middle, you just know, like, they starting it off, like, but yeah, you normally used to be in the middle most of the time, but
I gotta have my spotlight game. I'm like Bobby.
Alright, next one.
But yeah, go ahead though. So what? We got 3 of our favorite pay-per-views each. So how you coming with yours? What's your first all-time favorite pay-per-view? Starting from 3, 2, 1. So what's your third all-time favorite pay-per-view?
So for my third is the year I started to watch wrestling, 2012.
Yeah.
Now that was a very interesting time for me.
2012 was a good year, man.
So for me, Hell in a Cell 2012.
Alright, so didn't that show have
You had CM Punk and Ryback in a Hell in a Cell match.
alright.
You had The Big Show and Sheamus for the world title. You had Miz and Kofi for the Intercontinental title. I believe Kofi was champion.
Yeah,
at
see,
the time.
Sheamus was the year Sheamus was just dominating as world champion in 2012. Well, Big Show was the champion, right? Sheamus was the champion.
Sheamus was champion at the time.
2012, it been a minute.
You had, this was back when the Divas title was still around. It was Eve, Layla, and Caitlyn. They had a
Hey,
whole.
nah, Caitlyn was cold. One of the best spears I've ever seen from a female.
I'm trying to remember if it was a triple threat or if it was just Layla and Eve. I know Eve was champion at the time. That I do remember. And Cesaro was also United States champion at the time. That one I believe was R-Truth.
But yeah, I mean, Hell in a Cell 2012. I don't really remember that much from it. I watched it for sure, but it wasn't nothing really memorable for me on that show. So I don't know.
Not even the screw job that for Punk
I mean,
getting the win because Brad Maddox low blow Ryback.
yeah, see, right. That was the thing with Ryback. He couldn't never. Every time he got a shot,
The man was unbeatable. at that
always
time.
got screwed when he got the title match. Yeah, so
I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't watch 2012, so
yeah, bro. I mean, 2012 was one of them. It was one of them years, man. That was the year Cena had his worst year in his career when he still.
I'm glad I ain't seen that. You know how I feel about Cena.
He still won Superstar of the Year somehow. He had won Money in the Bank failed. It was a terrible year for
Well,
Cena.
you got to keep in mind with Cena too doing that is him being that Mr. Honor, Hustle, Loyalty, and Respect on it. He told him when he was flat out going to cash in.
Yeah,
You
he
don't
told
do
him, like,
that.
That's Braun Strowman did that too to Roman. Like, I'm cashing.
I mean, RVD did it and he won.
No, bro, I don't know. But yeah,
Like you just don't go and be like, yeah, I'm losing. And at the same time too, he had heat with Big Show, so
Right.
you knew he was going to come in, and he did.
You're right,
He
right.
told him he was going to cash in at Raw 1000. He did. They had a match. Big Show interfered. Punk retained the title.
yeah. So, alright, so you gonna go next?
Yes, sir.
Alright.
I'm gonna go with my favorite pay-per-view of all time. Jason, I'm gonna hop in the time machine for you real quick, man.
You wanna go back to 06 with it?
Yes, sir.
Alright, you know where you going with this one?
One Night Stand 2006.
ECW.
That pay-per-view was like, when I was a shorty, like, I've never seen a pay-per-view like that. You know, like the standard that it was like,
The fans.
the fans was different, the stage looked different, the ring looked different. The whole feel of it was just different. The production was different. I was like, man, like, people look like they really about to die in these matches.
And then the fans cared. It was like real emotion, like
The feel of it, like, I saw John Cena come out. John Cena just come out, just drop his head, like probably his most iconic entrance to me. Like, drop his head, walk out with the title.
He was in enemy territory.
Man, that match, that whole pay-per-view, like, they booed all the WWE superstars. They booed Rey Mysterio.
And the fun thing is, didn't Rey Mysterio have a time in both WCW and
Yeah, he was
ECW?
over there. Yeah, he built his name over there before he came to WWE.
and if you boo Rey Mysterio, something just wrong with him. 'Cause I don't think he ever turned heel a day. in his
Never.
career. Like,
Never.
I remember that event too. John Cena threw his shirt into the crowd.
They threw
Fans
it
were
back.
throwing it right back.
One of my favorite matches, RVD, John Cena. Sabu and Rey Mysterio had a good match. There was the match between Edge, Mick Foley versus was it Tommy Dreamer and what was his name? Terry Funk. Right. And Terry Funk, like his face, I think I caught in the barbed wire. He got his face taped up. He came back with like his. I was like, this is him and Mick Foley was landing the barbed wire. They had bats that were on fire.
That was just
it was crazy.
That show was just like. That was extreme. Like that was one of them shows.
Yeah, my favorite pay-per-view of all time. My favorite B-level show of all time for sure.
For sure. So, man, I'm gonna go with my top 3. So I'm gonna go with my third. I was there live. I'm gonna have to go Survivor Series 2019.
Oh yeah.
Like I feel like, and not just because we was there, but. It's like you saw everybody. We saw NXT, we saw Raw, we saw SmackDown. The matches, I'm talking about Bryan and The Fiend was a great match. Brock and Rey Mysterio match had me feeling like Rey could actually win the match. Adam Cole and Pete Dunne.
You had
every match.
You had the AJ Styles, Nakamura, and Roger Strong.
Like all the matches up into the main event, which ruined the show for me.
Oh man.
With Shayna Baszler, Bayley, and Becky Lynch, that was terrible.
Dog.
But
I was about to say dog.
I like Survivor Series 2019. It was a good experience. The show was good, and it was like one of the last things we went to before the pandemic.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So,
I remember at that show too. Like just every match was hard. You had the one with Keith Lee and Roman.
Yeah, that last little thing. You know, like.
Randy Orton coming in, remember Riddle, and Riddle was dancing, he got dropped to RKS.
Oh yeah, Survivor Series 2019, definitely one of my top 3 favorite pay-per-views.
Adam Cole and Pete Dunne.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites too. You know, but yeah, that's one of them. But yeah, you go ahead with your.
Well, before I go with my second one, I want to give that one that Shamar just had an honorable mention because for me, I did enjoy it overall. Is it in my top 3? No. But I liked it. It brought NXT in. It really established it as that third brand show, not like a C show or anything like that. It really showed, hey, these guys in NXT, they're just as good as these main roster guys. So they have some, developing to do and some learning to do. Hell yeah, they do. But they proved that night, and especially for me, the AJ Styles, Shinsuke, Roderick match, that one was good. Did Roddy come in and steal the win? Yeah, he did. But I mean, he did show that he was up there
with them levels, with an AJ Styles, with a Nakamura,
They won Survivor Series 4-2-2.
Yeah. So NXT, obviously NXT was gonna win because.
Oh no, was it 4-3-1? Because Raw was.
Yeah, Raw was losing a lot of matches. Yeah, but NXT was the clear winner, favorites to win Survivor Series that year because they were just getting on TV and AEW.
Didn't they win it out overall?
Yeah, they won overall. Yeah,
they won it. But yeah, that's that one over.
So for my number 2, now keep in mind, I was only 6 when this one came out. And don't get me wrong, I'm going to step in the time machine a little bit as well.
Hey, go crazy.
Same year too. Unforgiven 2006.
Ooh, I think that was Kurt Angle and Undertaker.
No, that's that's No Way Out. 06.
No Way Out.
Yeah.
The 2 matches of the night for me would have to be the women's match between Trish Stratus and Lita.
Man. Trish's last match.
And then the match of the night for me was John Cena versus Edge in the TLC match. In Edge's hometown. In his match. His
people.
His people.
Edge was the babyface in that match.
He was practically the go-to favorite to win. He was a champion. John Cena came into his hometown, ate him through 2 tables?
Off a ladder. FU. I don't say it's called the FU.
And won the title in his hometown. I mean, for me, I had to do. Don't get me wrong, I had to look it up. I'm the baby of the 3. I was 6 when this happened. But for me, I was like, damn, this is some good wrestling. Because I'd always, like I said, I had been a fan of Edge and even Cena.
Right.
So to see that kind of match.
Were you was a fan of Edge back then when you first started watching it?
Yeah, believe it. Well, I did some digging when I first.
First of all, like when you first, you was a fan of Edge.
I did well when I first started watching. I didn't see him on TV.
No. I'm saying when you first saw Edge, you was a fan of him.
It took some time to grow on me. first.
Like, cause I'm talking like when I was a kid, I hated Edge, so that's why I'm like, you was a fan of him, like when you first.
Well, because for me, because I like I said, I first started watching in 2012, so obviously I had missed Edge's entire career.
Oh, he was babyface. Okay, that's
Yeah,
right.
by the time 2012 came, he was already retired.
Okay, cool.
So I had to do some digging, see some old matches. I saw his match he had with Ziggler, where Clay Matthews was the referee for that match.
Clay Matthews was in WWE.
That was on
It
SmackDown.
was a SmackDown. He was a special guest. Well, he wasn't supposed to be the referee. He was there, but the referee got knocked out. So Clay Matthews is like, all right, he gets a referee shirt. He goes in and counts the match.
That's when they was handing Dolph Ziggler like
I don't like it.
Vicky Guerrero off.
Because Vicky Guerrero was controlling him before Teddy Long came
It's
back.
a big middle finger to Clay Matthews and anybody who
For
wears
what?
Packers jersey. It's just the Packers. I hate the Packers game.
So
Clay Matthews that man though.
So I kept doing some digging. I saw his match with Chris Jericho at WrestleMania 26, and I kept digging and digging and digging until finally, hey, I ran across Unforgiven. John Cena and Edge. I can't tell you how many times I went back and rewatched that match. The highlights, the match itself, everything. And Trish Stratus and Lita, again, that was also in Trish's neck of the woods, too. And keep in mind, both those, you had hometown favorites, and Trish won. Trish won, but Edge didn't.
You got that other match. I don't remember how good the match was, but you had that match with Carlito and Randy Orton when Carlito like went for something, some type of move off the top rope, and he got caught with an RKO.
That mid-air RKO. But yeah. But for me, number 2, Unforgiven, 2006. Me?
I gotta think. All right, so I went with bro. He threw me off that Survivor Series, and that was a good one.
Nah, that's one of my favorites.
Let's see.
I must throw you off a little bit too, going back in that time machine and those.
That's a good one though. That's a good one. I'm gonna go with the A show. I'm gonna go with WrestleMania 23. My favorite WrestleMania of all time.
And Detroit. That was Donald Trump and Vince, man.
Then you had Bobby Lashley with Marvin. You had the ladder match when Jeff Hardy jumped off the thing, jumped off the ladder to Edge. You had John Cena, Shawn Michaels, which really wasn't even named best match.
Yeah.
You had Batista and Undertaker.
Classics.
You had every match felt like a big deal. You had I'm trying to think of some more. I might have to pull my phone out, but there was some stuff. Like,
yeah, it's been a minute, but
I did think his John Cena's entrance was a little cold. That Mustang busting through the glass.
that was his best entrance to me.
Yeah.
A lot of people say it was the one with all the John Cena's at WrestleMania 25.
remember CM Punk was one of the shooters in the wood car.
Oh yeah, the one in 22 when they were going back to the old Chicago style without alcohol and all that.
But the one with the Mustang, I was like, John Cena came out in the Mustang.
And they hyped it up. They had him all the way outside the building, him pulling in and everything.
I was like, dang, John Cena
He
can drive
crazy.
like this? I doubt that was John Cena in that for real.
It would have been interesting because I mean, hey, that man was doing Fast and Furious before he was even in.
Hey,
Fast
if John
and
Cena
Furious.
could drive, hey, I like to call Jay. I was like, King, remind me not to ride shotgun with John Cena. So
What threw me off though, Taz, because I did see that. The one thing that kind of threw me off with the whole thing with him and Michaels is just the fact that they were also tag team champions at the time.
they lost him the next night though.
Yeah, but even still, that it's like outside of that, I don't remember ever seeing a main event for World Title where it's like, oh yeah, it's here we are as tag team champions, but we're facing each other, damn near could beat the ever living shit out of each other, and then the next night be like, hey man, what's up? Nice match.
That's how Eddie and Ray were in 05. They were tag team champions going into WrestleMania. They weren't for a world title, but they were tag team champions going into WrestleMania.
But yeah, man. All right, so I'm gonna hop in the time machine too, man.
Go crazy.
How far back
I'm
you
gonna
go?
go 05, man. WrestleMania 21, man.
Oh man.
The start of Batista and John Cena to that main event level. Like, I was recently just watching the Royal Rumble that year when Batista won the Royal Rumble.
Wasn't that after the double elimination?
Yeah, but when they both went over that.
Vince came out to both his quads.
Yeah, bro, like.
I remember seeing the inside the ropes thing that Edge was explaining to, where he was so mad at the ending. The guy's like, "Don't go in the hallway. Don't go in the hallway. Just let him go." That man walked to his limo on his own power with 2 broken quads.
Dude is nuts.
Tripping. Yeah, I like WrestleMania 21. It's just one of them ones. Like I said, it's the ascension of Cena and Batista. Like, you know, I went back and watched. I went back and watched a lot of old wrestling. Cause I wasn't watching wrestling back in 2005 either.
This is the dissolving of Evolution too.
Yeah. It was Randy was already out. Batista was still in, but you knew what he was finna do.
You knew he was next.
He was on the cusp of breaking through. So yeah, I really just like that baby because Batista, he beat Triple H for the World Heavyweight title. And he proved that he stamped himself. Cena beat JBL for the WWE title. He proved it was just two. Come on, man, like don't get no better than that.
It's the beginning of the two biggest. Now look at them in Hollywood and stuff. It all started right there at WrestleMania 21.
Both of them, the way it was booked and all that, both of them won a world title the same night at WrestleMania.
And they laid the foundation down. They had some good stories. And they had their first match. They really held off on that. They became established, and they didn't have their first match until SummerSlam 08. And then after that, they didn't have another match until WrestleMania.
WrestleMania 26.
Yeah, so man, they did their thing with that.
Yes, sir. Yeah, one more for us, man.
Now keep in mind, through this entire video, I really had to go back and forth with these two because both of these were the same two guys in a match, but I had to really sit there and think, which one? And for me, my number one, we all might be ending on WrestleMania because mine's a WrestleMania too.
Okay.
WrestleMania 26.
26. I think I know where you're going with it too.
Okay, go ahead.
It was the streak versus the career.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, we talking about the whole. Well, we do have to include the whole card.
Well, even that too. With like I mentioned earlier in the video, with Jericho and Edge, you had Sheamus and Triple H. You had basically Legacy in a triple threat match.
But then you had that little thing with Vince and Bret Hart too. Yeah. That's the thing I think about sometimes. Like
you think about the negatives.
Yeah, I think about that
like that show outside of that match. WrestleMania 26 was decent. Like you said, Sheamus Triple H was a good match. That
John Cena and Batista.
Yeah, for the WWE title. But that match established Sheamus as a young up and coming beating Triple H clean at WrestleMania. Like, come on, man. Obviously, Undertaker and Shawn Michaels stole the show.
For sure.
And back-to-back years, WrestleMania 25 and 26.
And that was the perfect way.
That was a year-long story built.
That was the perfect way to end Shawn Michaels' career until
he came back and still faced Undertaker and
DX versus the Brothers of the Destruction.
But we ain't gonna talk about that. That match will never be talked about on here.
But even with Edge and Jericho, don't get me wrong.
That match too, I forgot about that one.
That one was good. I believe Jericho walked away with the win.
He did, which threw everybody off guard.
Because they thought Edge coming back, from his injury at Royal Rumble, he wins the Rumble. You think he'd win. I wanted him to win, but it didn't happen. But overall, for me, I picked it for, like I said, because of Shawn Michaels and Undertaker, streak versus career, because of John Cena and Batista, because of Chris Jericho and Edge, and because of Triple H and Sheamus, and even the legacy thing, because you see so many things in this match. You see the dissolution of a faction. You see an up-and-coming superstar winning a big match against a well-known superstar.
Right.
You see two tag partners turn bitter rivals in a world title match. You see John Cena get that redemption that he was rightly deserved from Elimination Chamber, because to win the entire chamber and then have to face Batista. To me,
right afterward, that was wild.
For me, I'm gonna say that was straight bullshit. I'm sorry, it was straight bullshit.
Now that you mentioned all that though, that card was kind of decent though. Like it wasn't a bad show.
I was thinking about Bret Hart and Vince.
I will admit, I agree with you. The Bret Vince thing that threw me off. But outside, because of that one match alone, I'm not going to judge a whole card. Because you could sit here and find one match in every card of a pay-per-view and say, this match just flat out sucked.
But the main event between Cena and Batista was good though.
Yeah,
I'll say that though. Batista and Cena had some good matches.
And that was the building blocks for matches going forward, which ultimately ended Batista's career with the FU off the car in the stage.
Made Batista quit the next night.
For him to come back and then just quit again. And
just a quitter, man.
He just kept quitting.
Alright, so we got one more.
You ending on a Mania 2? Or are you going different?
I'm trying to think. So I went with One Night Stand 06. I went with WrestleMania 23.
Yeah.
I've seen so much wrestling. I just gotta think.
So we went back to back to back on WrestleMania.
Yeah, 'cause I had 20.
WrestleMania, I mean, you know.
Gotta add a Mania in there somehow.
Yeah, it's only right. There's been so much epic stuff. It can't be all B-level shows.
Just real quick, when I had my honorable mention, WrestleMania 29, I'm just putting it out there. To me, it was good.
Low key, I got an honorable mention too. Money in the Bank 2016. When Seth Rollins came back and beat Roman Reigns for the WWE title. Dean Ambrose cashed in. All 3 members of the Shield was WWE champion at the same night.
See, I know y'all going with moments. Y'all going. I'm trying to think of like the full car all.
Yeah, but it's like if you think about it off the top of your head, you ain't gonna remember probably a full match card.
Yeah.
But you could just say your favorite moments from your favorite pay-per-view, like I did with WrestleMania 21. Like
I'm just trying to think what would be one more.
That's why I did.
Oh,
that's why I did.
Matter of fact, I got one. Royal Rumble 07. I do remember a couple things from that. Okay, cool. So
the double elimination at the same time.
Huh?
The double elimination, Batista and Cena.
that's
that's 05. I'm talking about 07. So
I thought that was 7.
no, that's 07.
07 was Undertaker won.
Undertaker won. Now,
Oh.
y'all talked about like Undertaker and Shawn Michaels matches. They had that little thing at the end of Royal Rumble 07 where it was like, all right, here's a little peek. You know, they had matches in the past. They had one of the best endings to a Royal Rumble match in history. Shawn Michaels going for the super kick. Undertaker eliminated Shawn Michaels, but then you had trying to think. You had the thing with John Cena and Umaga, one of the best last man standing matches I've ever seen.
Umaga was overly underrated.
Facts. I think about that. John Cena literally choked him out to win the match. Yeah, like it was just crazy. You know, Royal Rumbles only have like a couple matches in the Royal Rumble is an hour long. So yeah, that's like one of my favorite cards of all time. Oh yeah, I think you had Jericho won back. That was 08. But yeah, that's my.
Alright, so my last one. I ain't gonna lie.
I thought we did our number ones.
I thought we did all ours.
We did.
Yeah.
I mean, here's an idea.
Unless you want to throw something out there.
What was my last one?
WrestleMania 26.
I did WrestleMania 21.
No, I did 26.
No, I did WrestleMania 21 and I did Survivor Series. I only did 2.
Okay.
I mean, y'all want to keep going if you got more?
I just got one more.
Yeah,
or how about honorable matches?
I just say one a show that I like. NXT Takeover 2015. Sasha Banks versus Bayley. Probably the greatest women's match I've ever seen, bro. Like the storytelling with the 4 horsewomen. I recommend y'all go watch that match. Like Bayley and Sasha. Chemistry on point. A lot of other matches happened on that show too, but I ain't really care for them. But that match right there was my favorite match. If you like women's wrestling, go watch that match in its entirety. It was like 30 minutes.
For me,
that's probably like my just last one that I'll throw out there.
For my honorable mention, it stays along with NXT. But for me, it was the War Game matches that had the Undisputed Era.
Yeah, everyone. Because you going crazy.
Because you cannot, neither one of you can disagree with me. Because I think I watched 1 or 2 of them with you guys.
We watched the one. It was like on my birthday, like maybe like a year or 2 ago.
Because I remember there was the one where they were all champion walking in, and it was like Ciampa, Dominic Dijakovic, Keith Lee.
Okay, that was the one in Chicago.
And then the returning Kevin Owens to NXT.
Yeah, that was that one.
Where that man, he got a pop coming back.
Yeah, that was the night before Survivor Series.
Yeah, I remember that one for sure.
Yeah.
But for me, all 3 of those matches are worth going back and watching.
Kings of War Games, man.
I enjoyed watching them. It literally from start to finish. Well, once everyone got into the match, it was like I just sat there like this could end at any time. Anything could happen. You could have people jumping off the cages like Ricochet did in one of them.
Yeah.
When it was the Undisputed Era versus Ricochet, Pete Dunne, and the War Raiders?
Viking Raiders, yeah. That probably was like...
They have too many names at this point.
Yeah, it's like... Yeah, but them War Games matches was crazy, though. The Undisputed Era was in every one of them.
Or even the Era versus Pat McAfee and his crew.
Oh yeah.
Pat McAfee showed some stuff.
It was Pat McAfee, Pete Dunne, and Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch. Yeah, it was dumb.
But yeah, if you're a fan of matches with physicality, also a fan of cage matches and everything else like that, all 3 matches that the Undisputed Era were in for War Games, for me, is my honorable mention, because all 3 of those matches did not let me down.
No, it was in what? 18, 17?
I thought it was 3.
18, they had the 18, 19, 20.
It was Pat McAfee's group, it was Ricochet,
What about
Dunn, and the Raiders, and then it was the Era, Dominic Dijakovic,
So they
Ciampa,
did 3.
Keith Lee.
But then they had the one with it was
'cause
the Era.
Then they started. There was the dissolution because then Cole and them were going at it.
No, but then they had the one with the Era, and then it was Roddy and AOP.
Oh right, it was Adam.
2017?
It was when they were doing it. They had the teams of 3. It was Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly. Then you had Roderick Strong and AOP, and then you had.
That had to be 2017.
Yeah.
When they first came.
Yeah.
Who was the other group? You had one more group.
I don't know. I just know Roddy was. I saw him wearing the AOP stuff.
Yeah, nah.
Oh, Sanity. It was Sanity.
Yeah,
Undisputed Era, Sanity, and Roderick and AOP.
See,
That's
you
what it
got
was.
some NXT.
No, I just seen it though. I don't watch it like that.
Now keep in mind, this is when this man loved Adam Cole. Now he could care less.
He was a fan, man.
He buns now.
But yeah, we definitely got to do a vid about just some of our favorite matches too, though, all time. Cause I
Just
got
matches?
A lot, yeah, just favorite match. I got a
Like
lot
from
of matches.
like from any
Just
promotion.
anywhere.
Just
Anywhere,
anything.
yeah.
Just any.
That'll be for another.
That'd be tough.
I was saying, because if you're doing that, I got
Yeah,
matches for days outside.
I got like 100 matches off my head right now from other companies, promotions, all that. But yeah, that's the end of this video, man. Let us know in the comment section if y'all enjoyed the video. We talked about our favorite pay-per-views all time.
Comment down below y'all favorite pay-per-view.
Yeah, man. Let us know what y'all want us to do next, man. We keep telling y'all.
Comment, gang, comment. We need them comments.
We telling y'all. But yeah, I'm your boy Morrow.
Jay.
This chair not even trying to move or something.
And the honorary Oos.
Jason. And we out.